Hey guys, it's me Harshan. Welcome back to my channel Baking Vibes. Today I will be showing you guys how to level and stack your cake perfectly like this. So let's get started. So here I have my cake on a turntable and a cake board. So you can either use a cake board or a plate, but I think the cake board works the best. Now peel off the parchment paper as shown in the video and then keep it right in the center. So now using a serrated knife, it is very important to use a serrated knife or a bread knife. In the close-up you can see the serrated edge, so it is very important to use one, and it has to be long also. So if it's like one hand, then it's fine. So in the cake now you need to find the lower point. So your hump must have a should have a low and a high point. So from the low point we have to cut the top of the cake only by the edge and then moving inwards slowly. So we will be keeping a knife parallel, rather perpendicular, and then using a back and forth motion like this we will cut the hump out. First we will cut out along the edge and then slowly we will move inward. Be careful by using, because this knife is very sharp and you have to make sure that it is pretty leveled. You can also use a cake leveler, but I find this easier for me. Now I like to place a hand on the top so that the cake doesn't slide off anywhere and we have an even pressure going on. So go ahead and try this out. And voila, we have successfully removed a hump and the cake is pretty level. So at this point you should check out your cake from a side view. You can also bend so that you have an easier look, and you should look that your cake is very even. So it has to be very even, and if you find out that there is a bit of hump anywhere, then by using your knife just carve it out a little bit at a time, and then you can have a pretty smooth and a level cake. Once that you have a nice and leveled top for your cake, you can cut out into 2 or 3 layers according to your preference. Now you can use two methods to do this. One, by using an actual ruler and by measuring out the height of your cake and then dividing it into 2 or 3 layers accordingly, or just by eyeballing it. So what I like to do is just eyeball. So around halfway through I will make a mark all the way around, and then very carefully I will be cutting it along the edge and then right through the middle, just as we did for the cake hump. And so we will be dividing a cake layer into 2 parts. So that's how you can easily divide it. You can also use a cake leveler again, but I feel like it's some kind of a hack which I don't prefer. So I like using a bread knife and doing it the old fashioned way. So you can use your preference and go ahead and be patient while doing this so that you have a very nice and even layer. Once you go all through the center and from the edges, you easily have your 2 or 3 layers. You can always patch up your cake by taking out the extra hump from the bottom layer and adding it onto the top layer over here, or just leave it like that and just cut out the caramelization around the sides and the bottom if you want to. I don't like to do it, but if you want, you can go ahead. Alright, so I did the same thing with one more of my vanilla cakes, and now I'm ready to ice, fill and stack. So onto the cake board and the turntable I have placed my first layer, and now here I have some simple syrup which is very easy to make. Equal parts of sugar and water boiled just so that it comes combine and mix this up and then cool down to room temperature. I'm using a pastry brush to dab it on. You can also use a squeezy bottle if you have, or just drizzle on with a spoon. It works just fine. Be sure to soak all your layers so that they keep moist when kept in the refrigerator. Once your cake has been soaked with the simple syrup, you can go ahead and fill it. So if you're using any filling like a ganache or a pastry cream or lemon curd or something like that, it is always a great idea to make a fence with the final icing. So I will be icing my cakes with whipped cream today. So I am building a fence like this with the whipped cream itself. You can also use your favorite kind of buttercream or frosting if you like. Next, when you've finished building up your fence like this, place the icing into the center. In this case it's whipped cream, as you guessed. So put it in the center just like shown in the video. Add about 2 to 3 dollops and after that use a small offset spatula like this. It makes your filling very simple to do. So just by using that, spread it along the fence and make sure that it is almost smooth, because we want it to be as flat as possible so that we can get a perfect cake layers. If you feel that your fence is too high, then you can always smooth it out along with your icing just like shown here. Or if you feel like your icing is less, go ahead and add more. Who is there to stop you? It will be just as fine as you like it. I will be adding some fresh fruits over here, so that's why I have added whipped cream and build a fence. But if you want, you can add your ganache instead of the whipped cream, or your lemon curd, or any pastry cream as you wish. Once your icing is smooth, add in your fruits as I'm showing here. I have some cherries which I have cut into halves. So I'm just adding on a little bit of cherries because I wanted them to. You can also add strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, or any kind of fruit actually if you want. And then just make sure that they are pressed in the icing so that your next layer sticks onto it perfectly. So I will be just poking them in with my hands. If you want, you can just add in a little bit of more icing and then just smooth it out later on. Just make sure that you have placed them inside like this so that the next layer sticks onto it perfectly. So I will be continuing doing this until all of my cake layers are finished. Total of 4 cake layers and 3 layers of icing in between. So make sure you are very patient while doing this, because even if one of your cake layers or one of your icing layers gets tilted or not very even, then your whole cake will not be even and the cake layers then will not look as pretty as you wanted it to. So make sure you are patient and investing all of your time in it, and we'll see one more cake like this, which will be chocolate cake and chocolate ganache. So that does it for today's video. I hope you found it very helpful, and if you did, then don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and family members, and comment down below. To see more such fun videos and tutorials, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and the notification bell so that you will be notified every time I post a new video. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep baking and stay happy.